Hello everyone, welcome to KPB Coding Hub. In this video, we will discuss about nested if in C language. Defining an if block inside another if block is called as nested if. Or simply we can say defining if within if is called as nested if. And the syntax for nested if is if condition. Inside this condition, we are going to represent another condition. And as we know already, for every if block, there will be corresponding else part also. So if this condition is satisfied, it is going to print the statements present in this if condition. And definitely it will have else part also. If the condition is false, then it is going to print the statement present in else block. With this if block gets completed. And for this if condition, there will be corresponding else block. So else, we can take another condition. Likewise, we can check multiple conditions using nested if. If this condition is not satisfied, then it is going to print the statements present in this else part. Likewise, we can take n conditions, n true blocks and n false block will be there in nested if. Let me explain this syntax first. This is nothing but outermost condition and this is innermost condition. So defining if block inside another if block is called as nested if. If this outermost condition is true, the control moves inside if condition. Whenever the outermost condition is satisfied, then outer else part will be terminated completely. So if the outer if condition is satisfied, then it enters into inner if condition. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the statements of if and if will be executed. So if blocks, outer if block statements and inner if block statements will be executed. And there is case 2 for this. If this condition is satisfied, outer condition is satisfied and inner condition is not satisfied, then it enters into else part. So the statements of outer if and inner else block statements will be executed. If the outermost condition is failed, then directly it enters into else part and it is going to check another condition. So the statements of else block and inner if block statements will be executed. If this condition is not satisfied, then it enters into else part. So the statements of outer else and inner else statements will be executed. So if outermost condition and innermost condition is satisfied, then the statements of this outermost condition and innermost condition statements will be executed. Suppose if this condition is not satisfied and this outer condition is satisfied, then the statements of outer if and else block statements will be executed. If this outermost condition itself is failed, then directly it moves into this else block. Then the statements of else and this inner condition if will be executed. Suppose if this condition is failed, then the statements of this else block and inner else statements will be executed. Let me demonstrate with a simple example. So a simple C program to print biggest of three numbers using a nested if. Let me do this program in online compiler. First of all, I'm going to include the header files, #include stdio.h. As we know, every program execution starts from main method. I'm going to declare the variables like A, B, and C. We need to read those variables. So I'm using the format specifier %d. Ampersand A, B, and C. We are going to do this program using nested if. So if A is greater than B. So nested if means defining if block inside another if block. And if A is greater than C, then we have to print A is big. Else we can print C is big. So for every if block, there will be corresponding else block. Now I'm going to write else block. So else we need to check another condition here. So if B greater than C, we need to print B is big. Else we have to print C as big. Let me explain you how this works. Consider the value of A is 20 and the value of B is 10. 20 is greater than 10. Condition becomes true. So this outer condition is satisfied and it enters into inner if condition. Here consider the value of C is 15. 20 is greater than 15. Condition satisfied. So these two conditions is satisfied. That's why it is going to print like A is big. Suppose if I am assigning the value of C to 30, 20 is greater than 10, outermost condition satisfied, and the value of C is 30. 20 is greater than 30. This condition becomes false. So it enters into else part and it will print like C is big. Like this, it is going to work. Let me provide sample inputs here. 10, 20, and 30. The value of A is 10, B is 20, and C is 30. It is going to print like C is big. The value of C is 30. Compared to 10, 20, and 30, the value of 30 is bigger. So C is big. Let me copy this for your reference. So the inputs which we have provided is 10, 20, and 30. And the output which we got is C is big. So the conclusion for nested if is, in nested if we will have n number of condition, n true blocks and n false blocks. This is about nested if. Thank you, friends.